it's Cameron here with a little review video again. So today we are in a 1999 Subaru Legacy GTB wagon. So again, just like the Skyline we've reviewed, it is a JDM import from Japan. It's been in Canada now for around a couple of years. Owner is my good friend Brett. He's had this thing for probably 6 or 7 months now. He upgraded from a Hawkeye Subaru, just the 2.5i, and yeah, hopped into want something a little bit more fun, something a little bit more quirky and faster, so decided to continue with the Subarus and get a Legacy out. So right off the bat, when you look at this car, it's a big car. It's not gonna be even close to kind of like the GF8s or GC8 Subarus, the Imprezas. This is quite a bit bigger. You look in your rearview mirror, which is massive. It's this big, huge mirror, no blind spots, but you look in the rearview mirror and all you see is space going all the way back towards the rear windscreen there, and it's a ton of space. You can fit so much stuff in the boot of this thing, and just super practical car. You come in, sit in, you have these really nice leather seats. You come in and super comfortable. They don't hold you like an STI seat or anything, but you're in a Subaru Legacy. What do you expect? You don't really want to be in some full-blown race car. You want to be comfortable in this thing. Really nice Momo wheel. Has a good grip to it. You get all the nice kind of this faux wood and everything. So for a Subaru, the interior of this thing is really nice. Obviously, this is a manual, so it's a 5-speed manual. The GTB, this is the twin-turbo Legacy, so it has the Boxster engine with the sequential turbos. We'll talk a little bit about that, because that's something that really sets this car kind of apart, and it's something that's really different about this car from other Subarus, and as well just kind of a lot of other cars. So it's very comparable to a couple like the Nissan Stagias. Mitsubishi Legnum is another pretty similar vehicle, but so yeah, it has the sequential turbo setup. First turbo starts spooling up, I would say probably around like 2000 is when kind of you get a good spool, and then it goes all the way up to 3500. But this is where it kind of sucks, because you get this really weird lull in between the two turbos from around 3500 to I would say 45 to 5,000, where there's just nothing. It's like driving a 2-liter in that kind of rev range, and it's really kind of awkward. And then the second turbo kicks in and it really throws you back in your seat all the way up to redline, which is 7,500 in this case. But up in kind of that space, there's just really no power. It doesn't feel like a turbocharged car. It just feels like a stock 2-liter Subaru. So it's kind of cool, but also, you know, if you're really banging gears and shifting fast and you do land in that kind of period, there's just no power. You have to get out of that in order to get any power. So kind of you could either do a single turbo swap or just make the first turbo just a little bit bigger, but there is that little awkward period in it. But other than that, it's a really fun car. You know, it does pull pretty hard, especially for how big the car actually is. Brett doesn't have too many modifications. He's left the car pretty much stock just because he wants to keep it reliable as possible, especially since it's a Japanese imported Subaru. They are not known for being crazy reliable. You think Subaru, and nowadays you do think kind of reliability and, you know, how great they are in winter and everything, but the older Subarus, when they had all the turbos slapped on them and all that good stuff, they're not very reliable. Stuff is always going to be broken on them, and it doesn't mean that the car is going to be completely broken or anything or undrivable, but there always will be a little something wrong with the car, and that's what we've really found. So for example, since Brett has owned this car, he's replaced the radiator on it. The radiator cracked, so he replaced the radiator on it, changed the timing belt, stuff that he needs to do or wants to do. He wants to do head gaskets on it, because that's obviously a very known problem with Subarus. Needs to fix the shifter bushing. As you can see, we are in second gear right now. Doesn't look like it. Looks like we're in neutral, but we are. So that needs to be fixed. He has the parts and everything, just we haven't had the time. But That's one thing. The belts are squeaking on it. But yeah, it's just a lot of little nitpicky things are always wrong with it. But the car itself drives really smoothly, runs really well, but it's just a ton of little things. So he hasn't had any major problems where the car is completely undrivable or anything, but yeah, it's just all those tiny little things kind of add up, and he gets pretty annoyed with it. And you know, it's just kind of how it is when you own a JDM car, especially here in Canada, where, you know, we're not in Japan, so parts are decently hard to find, especially kind of the ones specific to either this motor or kind of the JDM legacies. So that's kind of annoying, but other than that, car's been relatively reliable, fun car to drive. As I said, hasn't done too much to it. Has a butterfly exhaust system, which is really nice. You flip the switch and it goes from completely silent to straight piped. Right now we have it on straight pipe because why would you want a silent legacy GTV? Pops like crazy, around 3,500 RPM. If you shift, you're guaranteed a gunshot out of the exhaust. It is stupid loud, this car. We'll have some exhaust clips as well as some flybys. It is crazy loud. One thing I've noticed with this car as well, it doesn't sound like a normal Subaru. So normal Subarus, of course, have that super distinct Subaru sound. This one is a little bit, it's different for sure. So it sounds a little bit more muffled down. It almost sounds more like a truck, is what I thought it sounded like. But it's a little bit different. Still has the Subaru rumble for sure. Just not, it's not like any of the GF8s or GC8s or anything like that. But we'll roll on at 2,500 RPM in second gear and see what we can do. So there's a lull and then second turbo kicks in. And then just gunshots out of the exhaust. Yeah, it's definitely a quick car, so a lot of fun, but you know, everything in the car has power, everything, power seats, power mirrors, power windows, really good air conditioning, everything you would want, kind of, especially here in Calgary, you know, heated windscreen, heated rear kind of windows, wipers, everything, lots of space, sits 5 people really comfortably, and yeah, in general, just really good. The speakers are really good in this car as well, has some really good speaker systems, and then in general, you know, it has like pods up on the pillars and everything. So sound system really, really good in this car. Brett has some massive 18-inch rims on this thing. Big deep dish with a stupid offset. They poke about 1.5 inches out of the fenders. Rubs on bumps like no tomorrow, but fuck it. It's just a Subaru, so it's all good. It looks crazy. It's not like a slammed legacy or anything. Still on the stock Bilstein struts and springs, so it has a decent ride height, really comfortable, but it has those massive rims, so if you go over any bumps you'll hear the rubbing, and then you can go back to the tires and check out all the damage on them. Other than that, it's you know, it's a great car, a lot of room, super practical, reliable if you you know, keep it up to date and keep it maintained and everything like that. But you know, things do break, unfortunately, and it seems like, you know, they break a decent amount on this thing. But what can you do? It's worth it in the end. But all in all, just a good car, a lot of fun, and yeah, hope you enjoyed the video. Stay tuned for more reviews. Hopefully we'll have a 2003 Bug-Eye WRX coming up, and probably a 2015 Mustang as well, so stay tuned. Thank you.